Welcome back to Investing with Confidence. I am your host Joshua David, and we've covered a lot of different topics here today on the show on, with futures, forex options, how the markets are functioning and areas where institutions are buying and selling. We call them supply and demand zones. And that's, our strategy that Online Trading Academy has is they've been developing that. I mean, they've had that for several years. I mean, on their 25th year, and they're a world leader in trading and investing education. And it's all about making smarter investing decisions, but also having a proprietary platform to help guide you through those decisions. And we have workshops here in Bloomington. If you miss passes for this workshop here in Bloomington, it's a hands-on workshop to see how the markets work, talking about the different volatility, what's going on, potential areas where buyers and sellers might be. Have one Wednesday the 13th and also Saturday the 16th. Call 952-814-4410 or text the word invest to the number 484848. So Al, with these past couple weeks here, we've seen some big volatility, some pretty big drops, but we've seen some rallies coming in.
Right.
And just for our YouTube listeners, just looking at a chart right now, currently from our highs, the market's down about almost 3%, about 3% right now, and it was down about 5-6% depending on which index you're looking at. Now we have a lot of listeners that have 401ks, IRAs. There's not. I don't think there's a lot of fear in the market right now because markets have gone up for so long, but we're starting to see downtrends develop, especially in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow. So investors are like, okay, they're thinking, okay, do we need to do something different? Do we just sit here with our head in the sand and do nothing? But that's probably the worst thing you can do because we have opportunities right now in the markets, whether the markets are going up, but also down, and they're going faster. So investors have the ability to be very versatile in the markets, not like the institutions where they're seen in the markets. You talked about earlier, they leave a footprint because they're moving millions and billions of dollars in and out of these markets. But us as retail investors, what we're called, the public, we can get in these markets kind of like a mouse and take little pieces of cheese as it goes. But with 401ks, especially, there's a potential supply zone, potential sellers in the S&P 500 around the $4,500 mark, right? Mm-hmm. So investors are wondering, okay, is the market going to continue to go up? Is it going to continue to go down? But they want to protect what they have. People have probably had their best earnings over the past several years in their retirement accounts. Right. How does somebody protect what they have no matter which way this market goes?
Well, if you're in a 401k or 403b, basically any employer-sponsored retirement plan, the investments that you have to choose from pretty much all really try to mimic the S&P 500. So if there is that supply zone, that turns out to be an accurate selling zone. It means that the potential is there for whatever you have in your 401ks to start going down. Mm-hmm. So in your retirement, you've worked 30, 40 years for what you have. When you go into retirement, you are counting on the money that you have remaining with you and helping you get through maybe another 30, maybe another 40 years for some of you. The one thing you can't let happen is to have that money go somewhere else. If you're retired or for whatever reason you have left a company, you don't have to leave that money in a 401k. You can roll it into an IRA, and then you have the ability to protect it. In a mutual fund, you can't really have any protection there other than just being what you think is diversified. Being diversified amongst a number of mutual funds or stock will help mitigate losses somewhat, but it won't prevent it. And that's not being truly diversified.
And that's why we had talked about all these different assets like futures and Forex and options.
Exactly.
Because that's how you properly diversify yourself. Something that is not correlated.
Right.
That's diversification.
Yeah, not
being
correlated.
In non-correlated assets.
It could be inverse correlated or it could be correlated. But you can use those to your advantage if you know how to use them with the proper education.
Yeah. We kicked the show off, Al, with options. So when you're talking about protecting portfolios, why are so many people gravitating towards options because of that?
Well, think about it. If you own a house or you drive a car, you have to have insurance, but you don't know for sure. If you have insurance on your house, you don't know for sure it's going to burn down or it's going to flood or you're going to need to use that insurance. If you have insurance on your car, you don't know that you're going to have an accident. But if you have a stock portfolio or a financial portfolio of any sort, one thing you can be 100% sure of is it's going to go down in value at some point. So what if you could have insurance on that? And you can do that with options. It's basically the same as having an insurance policy, but you can also use options. There are basically there's only two options. There's a call and a put. Everything else that you hear about is a combination of those. But to keep it very simple, a put is an option that you would participate in if you think something's going to go down in value. A call is something that you would participate in if you think it's going up. So if you have a self-directed IRA, you can trade options. You can trade futures. You can trade the foreign exchange market in addition to stocks and ETFs. So that's a way for you to protect what you have, but also instead of just leaving whatever you have in your retirement account at whatever number it is, why not grow that? And the way you do this, the right way in retirement, is to use the income strategies that you use while you're working up to retirement. That's using options, futures, and the foreign exchange market. You can do that with your retirement accounts using small amounts of money to participate in a much larger investment with risk management. And that is the number one thing we're going to teach you is risk management. If you can't say with a high degree of accuracy or certainty that whatever you have will never have a big loss, then you shouldn't be in the market. So that's the number one thing we're going to make sure that you understand. Never have a big loss.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about insuring portfolios. I mean, most people that are listening right now have probably, hopefully, had some good gains in their accounts. But a lot of people that are listening right now, and I'm talking to you, you're probably in build mode. You need to build your accounts to get to that point where you do want to say, hey, I want to dial back from work or whatever whatever the case may be. With options, investors are able to buy stock at a discount. So rather than Al was talking about Amazon and Tesla earlier, high expensive stocks, there's an ability to, for investors to buy at discounts, so that you don't have to have that, $500,000 $1 million accounts, $2, $3, $4 million accounts to actually participate. So these options and these different strategies and techniques, they're available to the public, but you have to learn how to do that. And you don't want to use your opinions, but a lot of people have tried to learn some of these techniques that we're talking about on YouTube or books and asking somebody at the hardware store, and that's really, you don't learn like that. You learn hands-on.
Right.
And we have workshops right here in Bloomington to learn how trading really works, how options works. You get able to do that. Everybody that I talk to anyways, they always say, I'm a visual learner, so I need to learn and actually do it. Well, we're going to do that in these investing classes here in Bloomington on the 13th and the 16th. So call 952-814-4410 for this workshop here in Bloomington, the 13th and 16th, or you can text the word invest to the number 484848. Now, real quick here, we talked about our platform. Mm-hmm. It's called Click to help you make smarter investing decisions. But talk a little bit about the community that is surrounded by this platform at OTA.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the students here really like, and they comment on this all the time, is how comfortable they feel with the community atmosphere we have here. And what we mean by that is that this is a bricks and mortar location. We've been around 25 years. This is the only bricks and mortar financial education source that has been around that long. In fact, we may be the only one that's been around that long. But having a place to come and spend time with other people is really important. If you're going to spend time with people, if you want to do something, you want to spend time with people that are successful at it and that have the same kinds of goals that you do. And that's to try to master something, try to help maybe challenge you and help motivate you. And these people get together. We have sessions here on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesday we call Touchpoint Tuesday, where people can come in and spend time with other students, with our student support specialists, maybe going over specific subjects, or just having them look at their charting, making sure that they know what they're doing if they're doing something wrong.
Are you okay over there?
I'm fine. I'm going to live.
Getting too excited.
Yeah, it is hard for me to hold back. I do get excited about this because the potential is so great. And here's one of the things what we found is that the majority of the people that are going into retirement are short what they need. And it's because they haven't saved enough or that they just don't have enough to save. And one of the problems is, and you just kind of hit on it earlier, people that have tried this have failed. Mm-hmm. And so they give up, and then they lose the opportunity to have more to put into retirement. So why did you fail? Those are the things that we cover. The first step would be to come into these workshops, and we'll show you the mistakes that most people make, that the retail traders make, If you failed, why did you fail? And then you should turn that around, because there are opportunities that everybody out there has the opportunity to at least come in and see if this is right for you. And if it is right, that this is the right place to get the education to take the next step.
Yeah, they do say you need to surround yourself with people that have done it before. I mean, the Online Trading Academy has 60 something instructors from all across the world teaching people just like you how to trade and invest in the markets. I mean, they always say too, you are your 5 closest friends.
Yeah,
And
you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with.
yeah, and that's where community comes into play. Spend time with people that are investing in the markets, that have been trading, investing short term, long term, that have been through the build mode phase, that are in the protection phase, or maybe just starting out. I mean, everybody's has a different place of entry.
Mhm.
The most important thing is actually to get started. So I want to give away one last set of passes for this workshop right here on Bloomington. We have one Wednesday the 13th and also Saturday the 16th. They're 2 hours. They're in the morning. So everybody listening can probably attend. If you're listening to the show, you can probably attend. Call 952-814-4410. That's 952-814-4410. It's a hands-on workshop with our proprietary platform Click, and also talking about our step-by-step rules-based strategy to make smarter investing decisions. And Al, we've talked about a lot of different topics here today, but you have a little tip today. It's called the OTA tip of the week, so let's hear it.
Okay, you know what? I talked earlier, Josh, about the probable big up and down moves we can look forward to for the foreseeable future. These are great market opportunities that create the potential for portfolios to grow faster and for access to fantastic short-term income strategies. So for anybody that's looking at making a change to their financial life now and into the future, this might be your best chance. Remember, you don't decide your future. You decide what to do today, and that decides your future.
That's right. I mean, it all comes down to being surrounded with the right people, making smart investing decisions. But just like the show, doing that with confidence. 952-814-4410 for this workshop on the 13th and 16th. As always, same time, same place. Until then, next week,